Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mother Knows Murder radio podcast, whatever you want to call it. It is October 31st, 2025, Halloween night, and we got a special episode for you. You know who we're going to talk about tonight, Mom?
I have no clue.
We're going to talk about one of the most prolific serial killers in history. It is Michael Myers.
The actor?
Oh my God, no. You're thinking of Austin Powers.
You behave.
We're talking about Michael Myers. He's killed over 70 people.
70 people.
70 people. Oh my God, do you hear them sirens? I hope that's not him.
I don't know. And I know murder, so how do I not know somebody who's killed 70 people?
I don't know, because he did have his first kill was in 1963, but what really kicked it off was in 1978, so that you would have been...
That's well before my time.
Okay. Michael Audrey Myers was born October 19th, 1957 in Haddonfield, Illinois to Peter and Edith Myers. He has an older sister named Judith Myers and a younger sister named Cynthia Myers. He's an American serial killer known for multiple decades of murders, notably always taking place on Halloween night.
Ooh, like tonight?
Tonight.
Please tell me he is somewhere locked up or dead.
They don't know where he is.
Oh, yay.
We will get to
now
that.
He could be listening to this podcast, get pissed because I don't know who he is, and come after me.
Okay, he's almost, 70 years old?
Okay. You know.
Would he know how to work a phone?
I have no idea.
So,
no clue.
On October 31st, 1963, Michael, who is 6 years old, stabbed his sister Judith to death.
6?
6, yes.
Wow.
He was only 6 years old.
Geez, he would have just barely been out of diapers.
For real, he was a kindergartner.
And stabbed his older sister to death.
Stabbed his older, she was 16. He stabbed her to death. Parents, of course, were like, what on earth? This is a little strange.
Slightly. But how is it that if he was 6 and stabbed his sister to death, wasn't he locked up then, but was able to somehow get out and do 69 more murders? Yes, 69.
Well, here's the craziest thing. So he was confined to Smith's Grove Sanitarium when he was a little kid. He was assigned Dr. Samuel Loomis as his doctor. Sam was like, hey, you know what? There's something weird about this kid.
Slightly.
He's like, this is not normal. It's not normal for a 6-year-old to be murdering someone, but he's like, I think it goes way beyond that. He was trying to tell the board of doctors, he's like, this kid, it's just more than he's crazy. He's evil.
Oh.
And mind you, Michael, at this point, he did not say a word after.
So he was mute.
He was completely
crazy and mute.
Crazy, mute, didn't say anything. Parents, kept going to visit him. Coincidentally, on October 31st, 1965, they were coming back from visiting him, and they got into a car accident and died.
Oh my God.
Brake lines looked sus.
Wow.
Now, Dr. Loomis said he thought that Michael did it, but there was no proof. Of course, back then there were no cameras, so it's not like there were cameras in the sanitarium catching this little kid cutting brake lines, but...
That, if he was responsible for that, that is way beyond evil. I mean, I know that, they say, is a child born evil or good? Or is it nature versus nurture?
Right. And from all accounts, it seems like they were good parents. They were fairly normal. And this one just is, I guess, the bad apple.
I guess. What happened to the youngest?
The youngest, actually, she was adopted out.
Okay.
And a family named the Strode family adopted her. And this will be another major key in this story. So on October 31st, 1978, Michael, who's now 21,
okay,
he just escapes the sanitarium.
What, did he want to go get a drink because he turned 21?
Celebrating, and he would have just turned 21 because he was born in October. And somehow he took a car and knew how to drive.
That sounds a little suspicious. I mean, if you have been in a sanitarium,
yes,
since you're 6,
how
are you driving, knowing how to cut brake lines, and doing all kinds of shady stuff?
I have no idea. There are theories that we'll get into later about what exactly went on there, because that's a major one. People are like, "How did he hopped in a car and he guess where he went? He went home to Haddonfield, Illinois, where this all started. He went back to the house, which this house never again recovered from the. It's like the haunted house of Haddonfield.
You would think that after all that, they would just like tear it down.
You would think so, but actually, funny thing, haha, the Strode family
lived in it.
They lived in it much later, but they're realtors, and they decided, hey, let's try and sell this property, and it was just the empty, like every Halloween the kids would be like, it's a haunted house, he's in there. But yeah, the Strode family, their business Strode Realty, they took over trying to sell this property, which never sold.
Well, gee, I wonder why. So obviously, realtors now have to disclose that kind of information. So back then, did they have to tell people that somebody was murdered there?
I don't believe they do.
Did they know that
they knew
their adopted daughter was the youngest sibling of a murderer?
That I don't believe they knew.
So that's something I would want to know if I adopted a child. Like, maybe this runs in the family. Maybe this child that I adopted is part of, a Manson clan.
Yeah. Yeah, I would think you'd want to know that.
Wow.
But yeah, they took over it. So we're at October 31st, 1978. Michael goes home. And
did they throw a welcome back home party?
Well, the weird thing is that night, Lori, because she had the responsibility, she helped out the office while she's at this point she's 17 years old. She's going to school, but she kind of helps out, with her parents' business. She dropped off a key because he was going to show the house, like he was actually going to sell it.
And she's unaware that her sibling is a murderer.
She had no idea she was even adopted.
Oh, wow.
She had no idea. So she's just, she knew of everybody in Haddonfield knew Michael Myers.
And nobody knew that, hey, this is the little girl. And nobody knew. Oh, wow.
So she goes on about her day. She had a babysitting job that night to take care of a boy named Tommy Doyle, and he'll come back into the story. She also somehow got saddled because she had a friend who was like, hey, you need to watch my kid too. I'm babysitting, but you go ahead and watch her because I want to go. I've got a house to myself.
Oh, okay.
So she also ended up taking care of Lindsay Wallace that night. And from there, it just was a shit show of murder after murder.
Oh, my God.
Michael murdered 3 of Lori's friends.
Oh, wow.
He came after her. Of course, she's like, who in the world is this?
Yeah, if you don't even know you're adopted and somebody's after you.
And the thing is, at this point, the town didn't even know he was back. The only incident that the sheriff knew was that a hardware store had been broken into. And there was a rope and some knives taken and a mask.
Now, wouldn't you think that some sort of all points bulletin would be sent out to police departments that somebody had escaped?
You would think, this whole time Dr. Loomis was on this wild goose chase because he knew where he was going. He's like, it's October 31st. He's going back home. So he rushed,
warning, but nobody's listening.
Nobody's listening. Rushed to Haddonfield. He's like, something's going on. I'm gonna be on the lookout for him. He got in contact with the sheriff. Sheriff Brackett was like, we kind of need to watch because there's something. I don't know why he's back. Because at this point, the records of this girl's adoption were sealed. Dr. Loomis didn't even know.
Oh.
He just knew Michael's back for some reason.
Okay.
So that night he's watching for him, I should say. Watching for him. Michael kills 3 teenagers, comes after Lori, and I guess Tommy and Lindsay run out of Tommy's house screaming, and Dr. Loomis is like, you know what, this
is a little odd.
Yeah, there's some kids screaming, let me go check on it. There he finds Michael strangling Lori.
Oh, geez.
So he shoots Michael 6 times.
Okay, now we have a good ending.
Right, well, no, because there's more murders to do. So
Oh, yeah, because we got clear up to what you said, 70 murders?
70 murders.
And right now,
we're at 3.
okay, well, plus the sister.
Plus the sister.
So there's 4.
And they also found out he did kill a mechanic. For some reason, Michael, there's a few things that he's almost like ritualistic in his murders. He always does it on Halloween, and he has to wear like the same shit.
Oh, jeez.
It started with, side note, it started with a mask produced by the Silver Shamrock Company, if you remember them.
Silver
Shamrock.
Happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
They produced a mask in 1978. They bought the rights to a William Shatner mask. And we're like, let's paint it white and frizz up the hair.
Yeah, that's what I want to look like for Halloween.
Yeah,
William Shatner.
I want to be pale William Shatner.
Oh,
albino William Shatner.
there you go.
And Michael picked this mask and a mechanic's jumpsuit, which will forever be his staple.
So that's the serial killer attire.
I guess so.
Okay.
Out of all the scary masks he could have picked, he picked William Shatner. Captain Kirk.
All white with frizzy hair.
With frizzy hair.
Yeah.
So he's running around in this mask. He gets shot 6 times. He falls off a balcony.
Okay.
And Dr. Loomis is like, okay, it's done. So he goes to check, let me check on the body. He's gone.
Oh.
He took 6 slugs and just walked.
And fell off a balcony.
Fell off a balcony.
With 6 bullets in him. And just got up and said, hey, no big deal.
Just walked right out.
Oh, wow. That mask must have some powers.
Silver Shamrock was doing something right. But they did burn down in 1981, so. So Michael is missing, and they called the ambulance for Lori. She's taken to Haddonfield Memorial Hospital. Somehow, Michael gets wind of this and is like, let me go to the hospital. Because I've got 6 bullets in me, so I need to go too.
How is he knowing where this girl is at?
That's the weird thing. It's hard to pinpoint why exactly or how he knew where she was at all times.
Did he have that much of a close connection to his youngest sibling?
He did. He loved his sister. He just wanted to reunite.
Just wanted to kill her?
Reunited. So he went to Haddonfield Memorial Hospital, where he killed several nurses, a doctor, he killed a security guard, he killed a police officer. And Dr. Loomis tracks him there. Aiding Dr. Loomis was a Nancy. She was a nurse. There was a nurse who was
Nurse
aiding.
Nancy. Okay.
Nancy. She was aiding Dr. Loomis, and she told him, hey, there are some files that we found that were sealed, and this Strode girl is Michael's sister.
So now he finds out why he's coming back after her.
Yes, Dr. Loomis is like, oh my god, he's trying to kill the other sister. He's killed his parents, he's killed his older sister, he's coming back for the younger sister. So they head to the hospital, they find Michael, of course, and Dr. Loomis is like, you know what? Let me just end this all. He unhooked a whole bunch of those, like, gas.
Okay.
Yeah, and it lit a match.
Oh, nice.
Let's
blow everybody
right,
up.
Blew up, like, the ER. And somehow, Michael survives.
Okay, so now he's been 6 bullets in him, fell off a balcony, blown up with nitrous oxide or whatever they use in emergency rooms, and he still gets up and just la la la.
Yep. He starts. Lori said in an interview that he was coming after her. He was on fire.
Oh, God.
He was like a walking fireball, and finally he just stopped and he laid on the ground. She thought he was dead.
Okay.
And naturally, she's like, this man who shot him, because she didn't know who Dr. Loomis was at this point. She didn't. She's like, he's probably dead too. Which Dr. Loomis was not dead either.
Oh.
They both survived.
Wow.
Other survivors was a paramedic named Jimmy Lloyd, who Lori actually ended up marrying.
Oh.
And a nurse named Joe Franco survived as well. So for the next 10 years, Michael was in a coma.
Oh, geez.
He was done. He was, just kind of laying there. He was transported to another sanitarium.
Okay.
Way out of the way. Everybody's like, oh, old news, he's probably gonna die. And Dr. Loomis is like, no, you don't know Michael like I know Michael. He's like my bestie. So on Halloween night of 1988, 10 years later,
okay,
they decide to transport Michael back to Smith's Grove.
Why would you do it on a Halloween night?
You know what?
That's his night.
They were tempting fate, I do believe. They're like, you know what? Fuck it. It's not going to happen again. So naturally, they sent him on his way, and something happened in this paramedic vehicle. They don't know exactly, but everybody in it ended up dead, and then there's no Michael.
Oh, jeez.
Dr. Loomis hears wind of it, and he's like, you guys, it's Halloween, you know exactly what's going on. And everybody's like, oh, no.
Nobody thinks maybe he's going back home again.
No, they were like, oh, he's been in a coma for 10 years. Like,
yeah, it doesn't seem like anything's stopping this guy at this point.
You would think after 6 bullets and being lit on fire that they would kind of have more of a watch on him.
Wow. Crazy.
So Dr. Loomis is like, I need to head to Haddonfield because at this point you would think he's probably going after Laurie Strode.
Right.
She actually was in a car accident with her family. It was her and Jimmy Lloyd, her husband, their 2 kids, which were Jamie Lloyd and John Lloyd. John was about 6 years old and Jamie would have been 7. They dropped Jamie off at a friend's house. They went on their way. There was a car accident. And in this accident, Jimmy Lloyd did pass away. So the dad's dead. And Laurie took the opportunity to fake her death along with her son.
Okay.
She moves to California, leaving her daughter.
Okay, I don't think I'd ever leave my kid behind.
Well,
but
she was under the impression that if Michael were to wake up, that he would be like, oh, well, my sister's dead. So I'm done.
The end of it.
Yeah, I retire.
Done
Yep, done with killing. I retire. Let me just have like a little burger flipping job. So that was her train of thought.
Okay.
So she leaves her daughter to believe that everybody's dead. Jamie then is taken care of by the Carruthers family, which there's a mother and a father and a daughter named Rachel who is 17. They take her in. They know the history. They
still take her in.
They still take her in. The Strodes at this point they're somewhere in Haddonfield, but they're like, you know what? That's like our adopted daughter's daughter, so
right. We don't want to have anything to do with it.
We don't want to be in the line of the line of fire here.
The killing spree.
So Dr. Loomis is like, I know he is going to Haddonfield. He is going after this little girl.
Oh,
so he heads to Haddonfield. Finds a couple bodies on the way. He gets there and he talks to the new sheriff and he's like, look, Michael's out.
Oh my God.
Luckily, this sheriff, which was Sheriff Meeker, he's like, you know what? I'm taking this seriously because I remember what happened 10 years ago.
Right. Finally, somebody says, hey, it may sound crazy, but...
yeah, this sounds like, what's that one movie that Jason Voorhees? It sounds like Jason, but...
It's not.
This is for reals. So he's like, okay, we're shutting the town down. Everybody be on the lookout. Everybody needs to be inside. And of course, the whole town's like, no, we're gonna hunt him down.
Oh wow! So they started a lynch mob.
They started a little mob causing havoc because they're like, we remember what happened 10 years ago. It's time for this to end.
So they're all, all of them have weapons and are just shooting at anything that moves.
They're all drunk.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
A drunk guy with a gun.
On Halloween, just amongst the kids. Just,
Yeah. So do they still celebrate Halloween? Because I wouldn't want, I would think if I lived there, a Haddonfieldite, I certainly wouldn't want to have anything to do with October 31st at all.
And that's how it was, surprisingly, as we go along the story after 1989, they stopped celebrating Halloween for a period of time up until 1995. So you can only fathom what happens in 1995.
Yeah, okay.
So
some people live or learn.
So, yeah, you got to learn your lesson. So, Michael's looking for this little girl. He eventually finds her, kills a bunch of people in the process. Dr. Loomis catches up with him too and is like, okay, we got to get this little girl's safety. Some shit goes down. The police think they kill Michael because they just shoot him. They pretty much, just
riddle him with bullets.
He fell down a well, like some sort of a shaft, and they tried to blow it up, but he You'll find out later he does escape.
Oh, geez.
So that night, Dr. Loomis is like, it's all over. He thought in his interviews after that, he said he thought it was all over. Suddenly there's a scream from the upstairs of the Crothers home, and Jamie Lloyd, they find her with a pair of scissors. She stabs her foster mother.
Oh, gosh.
She
so
lived.
The crazy runs in the family.
It runs in the family. She lived. But for the next year, Jamie Lloyd is mute. she doesn't talk. She does some sign language.
Sounds familiar.
And she doesn't talk. Dr. Loomis is like, I feel like she's not so much evil, but there's something connected
between her and the Mr. Killer.
Right. And everybody else is like, that sounds really supernatural. We think you're crazy. At this point, everybody heckles Dr. Loomis, though he is right every time.
Right.
So for the next year, he is her psychologist. Can't really get much out of her. He said she kind of like kept spazzing out and having these fits. At that point, he's like, okay, I feel like she knows where Michael is, but
oh wow.
He's like, it's probably nothing's going to happen until Halloween. So Halloween 1989, Michael re-emerges. Of course, starts killing people.
Oh,
Sheriff Meeker once again is like, we better do an all points bulletin, like it will help. And I did fail to mention in 1988, Michael slaughtered every single police officer on the Haddonfield force.
Oh my God.
So within that next year, they had to hire a whole bunch of who would want to take up that job, but
oh wow.
They had to hire a whole new team. And of course, they're like, you know what the job comes with. We can't find Michael. He's probably still out there.
Yeah, I don't think I want to be on that police department.
And some people, they took up the job. Like I said, 1989, Michael comes back. He is slaughtering people. He did manage to kill Rachel Crothers, who was the one of the only survivors of the 1988 massacre, Jamie Lloyd's foster sister.
Oh.
So she was looked at as almost like a town hero because she did survive the 1988 wave, but 1989 did not make it. And this whole time, Dr. Loomis is like, I think this little girl is going to help me get rid of Michael.
Okay. Nice thought.
So he's got a plan. They go to the Myers house, which, funny enough, the Myers house was,
like tell me, made into a museum.
It was made over
into a haunted house.
The Strode family thought, if we kind of build around it and make it look like a different house, maybe we can sell it.
Yeah. Okay.
They put thousands of dollars into remaking it into a really out of place looking Gothic sort of structure amongst these regular Illinois houses. Of course, the ghost stories continued, and then it just looked like a Frankenstein castle by that point. So no one wanted to go near it. It fell into disrepair, but Michael's like, it's still home. And he followed Dr. Loomis and Jamie Lloyd to this house. And Doctor's like, I've got this idea. He kind of like booby trapped him.
Okay.
Those nets, kind of like a Wile E. Coyote.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like a net. And just beat him, what he thought, to death. Beat him with a 2x4.
So 6 bullets didn't do it. Falling off a balcony didn't do it. Being set on fire didn't do it. But a 2x4 was
a 2x4. He was desperate. He beat him so much that Dr. Loomis actually had a heart attack.
Oh no.
Did not die, but he's getting pretty old by now and had been blown up as well. So he beat him with the 2x4. Michael still lives. They took Dr. Loomis to the hospital. They took Michael to jail.
Okay.
To kind of like hold him over until they knew what to do with him. And somehow that night, an incident occurred and Michael escaped the jail.
Oh, figures.
All the police were slaughtered except for Sheriff Meeker. He said that, by his account, before he blacked out, that just some guy in a black suit with a hat came in and started gunning everybody down and then blew up Michael's cell with dynamite.
So somebody helped him escape.
Someone helped him escape.
Oh, wow.
There
That's
was
crazy.
a man that helped him escape. And that night, Jamie Lloyd also disappeared.
Oh.
So they were both missing in action for the next few years until 1995. And in 1995, on Halloween night,
Yes, Halloween night.
there was a shock jock, kind of like what's that guy from the vulgar guy from the 90s? Howard Stern. There's like kind of like an Illinois Howard Stern doing a big special on Michael Myers. Interviewed several people. One of them was Lindsay Wallace, who by this point was doing her own, what would you say, journalistic career.
I was wondering whatever happened to the two screaming kids.
Yes, one of them turned out normal. The other one, you will find out, did not turn out so normal. Tommy. So Lindsay is doing her own reporting, but she was on this radio show, and one of the callers called in claiming to be Jamie Lloyd.
Okay.
She's like, I've been missing for years. He's after me. She's calling out for Dr. Loomis, who actually was listening to this shock jock, and was like, oh shit.
Gotta go help.
Yeah.
I'm burnt. All this stuff has happened, but I gotta go help this kid.
Yes.
Okay.
So he goes searching. Also listening to that report was Tommy Doyle. And at this point, he was obsessed with Michael. He had done a lot of research on Michael, doing like deep dives into this dude. He had a theory that there were mystical runes and constellations that were controlling Michael and making him kill. That's his theory.
That's bizarre.
How he came up with this theory is not really known, but he's like, that this is what's doing it, and there's a constellation called Thorn, and it's in the sky on Halloween nights, and in 1995, it's in the sky, and he's like, Michael's back. So he is almost like a MacGyver. He keeps, he said that he kept playing this tape over, and, of Jamie Lloyd screaming out for help.
Right.
He deduces, he's like, I think she's at the Haddonfield train station. So he goes venturing there. At the same time, Michael's out there, yes, but Dr. Loomis, he is actually called to a field on the outskirts of Haddonfield where they find Jamie Lloyd's body.
Okay.
So he's kind of feeling defeated because he's like, wow, I was trying to help these people. I was trying to help this family, and here this girl's ended up dead. He made a call out to California to try and get a hold of Laurie Strode. He wasn't able to.
Okay.
Before all this craziness happened. But, she's, I wouldn't say living it up in California, but she was, she's now a teacher out in California by this point.
With their son.
With the son.
Okay.
Who doesn't really have many memories, just knew that, okay, my dad died and we moved out to California, and I really, I think I had a sister, I don't know, I was just a kid.
Oh, geez.
So, Laurie's getting these smatterings of, okay, Michael's out there, he's not out there, my daughter's disappeared. She's not really knowing what to do, and Dr. Loomis just keeps saying, stay out in California, you'll make it worse if you come here.
Right.
So she's staying out there, if you're wondering. People still think she's dead. Mind you, the Myers house, they once again redo it, and the family living in the Myers house is now, they're relatives of the Strode family.
Oh, geez.
We have John and his wife, Deborah, and their two kids, Tim and Kara, and Kara's son, Danny. They're living, they know kind of what happened.
Right.
But their dad's like, oh yeah, my brother just couldn't sell the house. Some spooky shit happened. Nothing to worry about. But Kara, she's like, why are these kids like making fun of my son at school, saying that we live in the Boogeyman house?
Oh God.
So she finds out that night that the Boogeyman does show up. Of course, slaughters a whole bunch of people. Funny, weird thing. When they found Jamie Lloyd's body, the doctor said that she had given birth about 12, 18 hours beforehand.
What?
This 15-year-old girl who was missing.
And now there's a missing baby.
A baby.
Like brand spanking new baby.
Brand spanking, like a, shiny new baby that Tommy Doyle finds. You know, he went to the train station.
How is it these people keep finding
I don't know.
each other?
And they're all so super smart. It's kind of like that show Stranger Things. They're all like putting little puzzle pieces together. He finds the
my
baby
God.
and he's like, I think this is Jamie's baby. He runs into Dr. Loomis and he's like, I think this is Jamie's baby.
Look what I found.
Yeah, I found a baby. And Dr. Loomis is like, you know what? The doctors did say she gave birth. It probably is. And he's like, wait, I think that this is like the next target.
Oh, dear God.
Baby is under target. So Michael is walking around town. He's like, okay, I've taken care of my niece and my sister, my other sister's dad. Really need to find that little great nephew out here.
How would he know? If it was just like a matter of not even a day.
He knew there's a baby out there. So he was tracking him down. Now Kara Strode, who, like I said, was living at the Strode house, she finds her family slaughtered. She runs across the street to where Tommy Doyle's staying. And Tommy's like, look, Michael's after you because you're in his house. So,
okay, move.
Yeah. So, well, they didn't have time. This is where the story gets really muddy.
Where's baby?
Baby is with Tommy for right now.
Oh my gosh.
But then Tommy said that these men came in, drugged him and Dr. Loomis, and took Kara, her son, and the baby.
Oh, dear Lord.
And Dr. Loomis is like, what is going on here? So he goes back, he takes Tommy to Smith's Grove, because he's like, I think Michael might be going there. And he said when they got there, it turns out that a colleague of Dr. Loomis named Dr. Terrence Wynn was that man that shot up the jail in 1989. To help Michael
escape.
Right.
So a doctor helped Michael escape.
Yes.
A serial killer. Oh, yeah.
And in a 1999 expose, Lindsay Wallace uncovered that there was actually a cult in Haddonfield.
Oh, dear God.
All these normal Midwestern people were actually in a cult who were orchestrating all this crap around Michael Myers. Because they're like, he's the chosen one. And it turns out Tommy Doyle was not so far off with his theories of these constellations.
Really?
Yes. This cult was claiming that they put a hex, a little curse on Michael to where he would be killing his family on Halloween.
But he killed more than just his family.
He killed everybody. He was basically anybody who got in his way. They were just, I guess, extras.
But I would think even if they, put some sort of a curse or he was being taken over by the constellation when the constellation shows up on Halloween, how do you explain him not dying from 6 bullets or a fall off a balcony or being set on fire?
Well, he's mystical, I guess, is what they're trying to claim. A lot of people think it's bull hockey. They think this
sounds completely unbelievable.
Lindsay Wallace even said when she was interviewing who was left of this cult, she didn't believe it. She thought it was very far-fetched, but she had to include it in her expose. And after that night, all the people that were left in this cult were pretty much, they were either taken to jail or they did go to a little, what do you call that? A hospital for people who are not well.
Criminally insane?
Criminally insane.
So where's Michael in all this?
Michael, he was still, they had the baby, and Tommy said that was going to be Michael's final sacrifice, was the baby. And he was like, you know what, I can't let this happen. So he decided to swoop the baby up and Kara and her kid, and they went running from Michael throughout this hospital. Michael was chasing after them, couldn't keep up with them. And then Tommy said that the next thing that happened was Dr. Loomis showed up and said, let me take care of Michael. This has got to end.
Bless Dr. Loomis for trying it every single time.
At this point, he was about 75 years old.
Oh my God.
He did have a stroke. The next year, Lindsay Wallace interviewed him, and he said he doesn't know what happened to Michael that night. He said he came face to face with Michael, went to shoot him, and Michael just kind of like, oh, I'm out,
Peace?
He peaced out. And Dr. Loomis went wandering through the hospital and found these cult people all dead. Slaughtered. Another massacre. At this point, he's like, you know what? I gotta, I'm getting a little old for this shit.
Okay, so Michael's still missing. There's Tommy and a baby.
And a baby.
And a girl and her son.
Right. Now, Kara Strode and her son, after that night, they decided to move.
Thank goodness.
Tommy disappears for a while with the baby.
Oh, wow.
So
Why
Lindsay
don't you just pick up somebody else's kid and just be like, bye?
Yeah, he was like, you know what, this kid needs to have a little bit of a normal life. So he pieced out as well and went as far as he could. It says that night that 19 people were killed by Michael, and he once again disappeared. So, in 1997, Lindsay Wallace began investigating all the allegations at Smith's Grove. She did like a 2-year expose uncovering this cult, and she did catch up with Tommy Doyle for this interview and she asked him point blank, where's this baby? And he's like, I'm not going to tell you that, because we don't know where Michael is.
Well, yeah, that's true, to protect the child, but geez, why can't they find this Michael? You can't find somebody walking around with a white mask and frizzy hair that looks like,
magic.
William Shatner?
He's magic. In September of 1998, Dr. Loomis did pass away. Then on October 31st, 1998, his office is vandalized.
Gee, wonder who did that.
And every file on Laurie Strode was taken. So apparently Michael can read. He's a really good reader.
And can drive.
And he made a field trip out to California where he went after Laurie and her son. Now, at this point, Laurie knows that everything has happened. She's like, he killed my daughter. He's coming to kill me and my son. I got to put an end to it.
Oh, boy.
So she goes into mom mode. I don't know if she's going to get Mother of the Year, but she went into her mode, and after a few more murders, Michael is going after her. She said that she stabbed him several times, and she was going to stab him again, but the paramedics were like, oh, they showed up, and they're like, oh, he's dead. And she's like, he's not. Do you know who this is?
Yeah.
He's not dead. They load him into a vehicle to take him off to the corner, and Laurie hijacked it.
Oh, jeez.
And held these cops and paramedics at gunpoint. She hops in the vehicle, and she said she was driving down a deserted road. Michael woke up. There was an accident. Somehow Michael is pinned against this car in a tree.
Okay.
And she chops his head off.
Thank goodness. You can't come back from that. I'm sorry. You cannot come back from that.
A normal person would not, and that is exactly what happened. When paramedics showed up, they took the mask off, and it was not Michael.
Oh my gosh.
It was actually a paramedic buddy.
Oh my god.
They deduced that Michael had, I guess, switched outfits, did a little switcheroo. And
you are kidding me.
She killed the wrong person.
Oh my god.
So even though it was not her fault, Laurie is taken into custody. She did do an interview, one of her only interviews in 2000, with Lindsay Wallace, who made a documentary called Blood is Thicker.
Oh, dear.
And it revealed details on Laurie's trial and sentence to Smith's Grove. That was when she did the interview with Tommy Wallace, and he said, I'm not telling you. He knew where Laurie's son and her grandson were, and he's like, I'm not going to say.
Right.
So Laurie goes to Smith's Grove, and they've got her on some medicine. We keep hearing sirens. That's scary.
They're coming for Michael.
So she's sitting in Smith's Grove, and in 2002, Halloween night, she ends up dead.
In jail?
Well, somehow she ended up on the roof. They said this was something that she would normally do.
Go on the roof?
Go on the roof. So between the time she was locked up in 2000 and then in 2002, they said that she would sometimes just go on the roof.
So they just allow prisoners to go and go on a roof.
This place, what is crazy is after all the shit that's gone on there, they need to have tighter security.
Wow.
So they found her dead, and they thought, well, she fell off the roof, but there was a stab wound in her back.
Yeah,
and they're
I
like,
think
okay,
she
it's
did that.
Halloween.
Yeah. You'd have a hard time stabbing yourself in the back.
That would be in falling off a roof.
Yeah, after you stabbed yourself in the back. You would actually have to throw your back onto a knife and then be able to have enough energy to fall over.
Maybe what she did was she buried a knife like in the ground and then just hopped off the roof right onto the knife.
Oh yeah, that precision. That takes precision, but
She was
I
an
guess
expert.
it can be done.
This is the Myers family we're talking about. So this was then 2002 was when kind of like reality shows were first taking off and gaining popularity, and there was a crew that wanted to do a reality kind of like the first live stream from the Myers house where they took some college students that like just wander around, tape what you're doing, and
see if you make it out alive.
This is and you win nothing if you survive. And Michael showed up because he's like, this is my house. And oh, by the way, by this time the house looks like it did. Somehow this house just keeps falling into disrepair, and finally it's kind of back to what it was when Michael was living in it. So he's there, of course, slaughters all these kids except for a couple.
Oh, jeez.
And now they said that they had tried to light him on fire. The garage was lit on fire. Michael was kind of barbecued. They took him to the corner and he disappeared. Has not been seen since.
Oh, jeez. What does that family tree look like?
Maybe it's like one of those, like, you ever seen, like, the Charlie Brown Christmas tree where it's really pitiful looking? It's just got, like...
Oh, my God. Could branches. You imagine? So out there still is Tommy Doyle, right?
Yes.
And Lori's son,
John
and the
Tate.
baby, her grandson.
Her grandson is out there.
We have no clue to where they're at either.
Well, in 2016, Halloween night, the body of John Tate is found in Council Bluff, Iowa, with the mark of thorn on his back, painted in his blood.
Oh, dear gosh.
Tommy Doyle, in a very rare interview with a reporter who actually reported on the murders in 1978, named Deborah Lane, he told her that he thinks Stephen. That's, by the way, the grandson. He named him Stephen, and that kind of like stuck. He's like, this is Stephen. He said that they both went out to Council Bluff, Iowa, and were living together, trying to counsel themselves through all this family trauma, and that's when John Tate was found murdered. And at that point, Stephen would have been 21, the same age as Michael Myers was when he started murdering in 1978.
Oh, jeez.
So, Tommy Doyle theorized that it was Stephen Lloyd who did it.
Another crazy.
Another crazy in the family.
So what happened to the little girl that was killed, her foster mother, and had gone mute?
Okay, Jamie Lloyd, remember, she was stabbed they found her dead in the field in 1995 after she gave birth to Stephen.
Right. There's so many killings.
There's so many killings. There's so many family members. So yeah, that happened. And then in 2019 in Haddonfield, they're healing.
Please don't say Halloween night.
Unfortunately, it was Halloween night in 2019. Now, mind you, Haddonfield stopped celebrating Halloween in 1989. They started again in 1995. Then they're like, oh, fuck. Can't do that anymore because of Michael. So from 1995 until 2015, there were no Halloweens.
Okay. No Halloweens, no killings.
No killings.
But nobody knows where Michael's at still.
Nobody knew where he was at. And the town seemed peaceful after recovering from not only Michael, but the rumors of the cult.
Right.
They're doing their little healing thing. But in 2019, a 21-year-old babysitter named Corey Cunningham was accused of killing a boy that he was babysitting.
Oh, jeez.
Now, this kid said, hey, we were playing a game. He locked me in a closet, and I was trying to beat my way out. And when he pushed open the door, it shoved against this kid, and the kid went toppling down the stairs.
Which sounds like a plausible accident. Why is the kid shutting you in a closet?
That's what I'm thinking. It sounds like maybe he was antagonizing this.
Or was he afraid of this guy because he was like coming after him?
Well, maybe that could be. Maybe he shoved him in the closet thinking, hey, this guy is trying to kill me.
Right. Let me get away from him.
And he did. Well, whatever the case, the town ostracized Corey and started calling him the new boogeyman.
Oh, jeez.
So for a few years, he's like, okay, I'm taking the razzing. But then in 2022, Corey started killing people.
Okay.
Because he thought, maybe I can be the next
new
Michael
boogeyman.
Myers.
Oh, my God. Yeah, let's aspire to that.
Yeah, he's like, hey, if that's what they're going to call me, that's what I'm going to do.
Can you not be a CEO of a company? I don't want to do any podcasts or any journalism. Let me become a prolific serial killer.
The new Michael. Let me kill.
All right.
So he had once. He had like 69 more to go. But he started killing a few citizens. He ended up dead. And his body was found strewn up at the Myers house.
Oh, wow.
With the mark of thorn etched into his stomach.
Well, obviously, Michael didn't like him taking his role.
And that's exactly what Lindsay Wallace, who decided to report on this.
Right.
She was like, hey, you know what? I think this might be Michael's work.
Oh,
she claims that he is still out there. She said the strange legacy of Michael Myers is shrouded in as much mystery as it is horror.
Could you imagine finding out you're part of that family?
I don't think I'd want to admit to it. If I was adopted out, I'd just be like, no, don't tell me I'm adopted.
Oh my God.
By this time, the Strode family, they what's left of the Strode family, they've completely moved out of Haddonfield because they were ostracized as well.
Hell yeah.
Kind of like, hey, you're harboring all these crazy Myerses. But back to the reporter Deborah Lane, she thinks that the Cult of Thorn is just made up to scare people, and she thinks that some of these murders after 1995 were just copycats of people wanting to claim fame to Michael's killings.
Well, it could be, but if you want the fame, wouldn't you want that recognition?
You would think that they would be walking out in like little William Shatner masks and
something.
Which actually now in Haddonfield on Halloween night, a lot of teenagers do tend to make their own Michael outfits. There are some people that they find this actually entertaining, so it's kind of like a Haddonfield pastime to, hey, throw on your William Shatner mask and your mechanic's jumpsuit, let's go.
Wow.
Yes. And unfortunately, a side note, in 1978, there was a teenager who was actually killed. He was wearing the same outfit. Who would pick that outfit? I don't know.
So they thought it was him. And
they thought it was him
on accident.
Yes, he was a car ran him over. And then he caught fire. He did not come back like Michael.
Wow.
Yes. So there's this poor town has just been through it. And as of today, the Myers house still stands. No one wants to go near it. They don't want to demolish it.
Why would you?
There's almost a fear in the town of, if we demolish it, what will happen?
The thing is, I would just like a ghost town. If I lived there, I'd be like, okay, we're just going to all leave. This will no longer be on the map. We're just going to relocate the entire town.
Let's call it New Haddonfield. Let's start a new beginning.
But that's some scary stuff.
It is. It almost is like it's almost like a movie, but it's I guess American history.
That
small Midwestern town haunted by murder and cults.
I guess so. It does happen. You think that this is just urban legend, and then all these people come popping up, dead or alive, and it's really happened to somebody. That's just amazing to me that they can't find this person.
It is. It's wild, and the thing is, they have, Lindsay Wallace has a theory that Michael is just in the Myers house.
Ew.
But they don't want, no one wants to go in. It's reported that kids on Halloween will dare each other to go in.
No, thank
but
you.
no one goes in.
Who would do that?
You'd have to pay me a lot of money.
No, the thing is, if he is in there, what is he eating?
I don't know. Maybe he's just eating small rodents or...
Oh, God. That's just, like I said, I would relocate. I certainly wouldn't stay in the town. I would want to have nothing to do with it. Because that is just horrific. You would think, do they get a lot of people tourists just coming there to gawk at this place?
They actually do. Every year on Halloween, people make little pilgrimages. Is that how you say that? To the Myers house. Last year there was a group of about 200 that went out there, and remember Sheriff Meeker from the 1988-1989 murders.
Right.
He showed up, wheelchair and all, with a shotgun, and said everybody needed to get. That he was taking over. He was tired of this becoming, because in 1988, his daughter was actually one of the victims.
Oh, God.
So he's like, I'm so sick of this being like a freak show.
Right.
You guys are talking about cults. You're talking about, supernatural constellations and runes. And so he had enough of it.
Yeah, I think it would, if my daughter had been murdered, I could see that. But I would just be like on the hunt to find this person. I just can't imagine in today's day and age, you can't find this person?
Well, it's not like he has Facebook, I don't think.
Well, okay. You never know. What do we know? We don't know what he looks like, right?
No.
So he could be walking amongst people and you just have no clue who he is because he doesn't have the mask on.
He's just some old man out there. He could be out there tonight somewhere, just looking normal.
That's why I just would be like, I would have nothing to do with that town, especially on Halloween.
Well, you would think so. And, people like Lindsay Wallace, who grew up and made it out, wanted to make a name for herself. She's a journalist and doing all these reports. Actually kind of looks like that woman from the Beverly Hills Housewives, just a little bit. She was like, I'm not staying in this town. Tommy Doyle might want to stay in this town, and the Strode family might want to linger around, but she was done. She moved out. The Carthers family, they also moved out.
Well, good for them.
A lot of the families of the victims, if they had the means, they did bail.
Right.
Now, like this ain't for us.
That is a crazy story.
Very, very shocking, and it's one that a lot of people now are doing deep dives in. You've got all these conspiracy theorists trying to piece together what happened, where he's at.
Right. Oh, this is kind of interesting. I can't wait to see where he's going to pop up.
Well, he's only got it. I mean, come on, he's getting near 70 years old.
Yeah. When you started at 6, that is amazing to me.
Start him out young.
And you've gone through all that, the shooting, the falling off the balcony, the setting on fire, all this other stuff, and really you're just,
He can't do anything else now. It's not like he can switch it. Let me be a doctor now.
Yeah, but like an old hoopty, he keeps running.
Yep. Keeps on ticking. And who knows, tonight is Halloween night and he might show up in the town of Haddonfield.
Don't say that.
Hopefully that doesn't happen for these poor people. They've been through enough already.
Seriously. Our thoughts are with them tonight.
For sure. Keep safe, Haddonfield. And thank you for listening to the Mother Knows Murder podcast.
I do know murder.
You know it now.
Thank you.
Make sure to turn off the equipment.
Okay, I turned it off last time. I forgot once. I will turn it off tonight. Did you hear me and Mom doing that podcast?
Yeah.
I don't know where the hell that story came from. I know it's supposedly true, but it's just absolutely ridiculous.